great season so far this season. To see her get rewarded for a second game in a row. So what's the feeling as a coach?
Yeah, I think you're happy for a player like that and who puts in the hard work every single day, and to get rewarded 5-on-5, but then also on the power play, it helps our game all around. And just for a player like her who has put in so much time with our organization, and I'm happy that it's all paying off.
And what do you think of the fit with Scamora today on the third line? Looks good?
Yeah, I really like them. They're good at getting pucks out, getting pucks in. They're relentless. They're responsible. They provide us with a lot of depth down our lineup, and they're able to go out in momentum shift moments, which is really important.
Hi.
Hi.
Penalties aside, would you say that was your best first period, or one of your best first periods of the season?
Yeah, I mean it is. I think hard to say that. Like looking back at it right after the game, you got to kind of spend some time with it. But
you had a few games with tough, like 10 or the first 10 minutes was really rough. But tonight it was like there was a lot of pressure, and I don't.
Yeah, I think we always want to start well. When we don't start or we don't get a shot on net until the first 7 minutes, I think that we're not trying to do things like that. So I was really pleased with the pressure that we put on, and I'm happy with the first period, happy with the third. Second, I think we need some growth in our game there still, but overall happy with the start.
And about Murphy, last week you said that she was doing everything but scoring. Do you think it was just like a matter of confidence? We know how big confidence is in professional sports. Do you think it was just believing she can score when she shoots?
I think she thinks she can score. I think you need a bounce every once in a while. Like you need something to go in for you. And the follow up with Scamura's 2-on-1 and then her to be right there. I feel like in the past that might have bounced over her stick. And so to get that bounce and to work for it and to stop at the net, and to be right there, like that's great, and kudos to her. And then obviously the one-timer goal, like, that was phenomenal. The girls are calling her Ovi. And since we went to a Washington game, like, she took a few things from them. But no, I think she's always, I shouldn't say always had the confidence, but she knows she can put the puck in the back of the net. She just needed something to kind of tilt in her favor. And honestly, I think it was the goal last game that tilted in her favor and went in the net. Yeah.
We often think when a team scores a goal that late in the period, like you did in the first, that the second will be a follow-up of this. What do you think happened in the second that you were not satisfied with?
It's puck placement, it's puck management, and being able to get the changes in that we want to see. And so if we miss those assignments to put pucks in when we have the opportunity to, that's when you get into trouble, and that's when you have to play more defense than what you were probably anticipating. And I think we just had too many extended shifts in the second, and we didn't manage the puck as well as we would have liked.
You've tried different combinations on the first line over the past 2 games. Kyle Irving, Linkova, back with Stacy, and now Linkova again today. What do you think of her game with Pooh and Abby? And can we expect her to be back on the first line?
And you miss Lena too.
I miss Lena.
Yeah. We'll see. Like, I think that Pooh and Rock were obviously generating quite a bit today. And we're looking for different combinations. We want to be the strongest 1 through 13 as we possibly can. So, not saying that Pooh, Stace, and Rock are never going to be on the same line again. That is too harsh of a statement, I think, because they, using them in really crucial moments, I think is important. But we do need to continue to grow our younger players, and we need to continue to find them opportunities for ice when the situation fits. So right now, after the game, not sure.
What kind of player do you think would be the perfect fit
Yeah, I mean, someone who recovers a lot of pucks, someone who thinks they can keep the puck themselves as well, and they don't always have to move it to Poo and Stace like they can, or Poo and Rock. They can kind of keep it on their own stick as well. And then someone who's going to the net and who can play at the net, and then you have to have a little bit of poise and patience as well for lanes to open up and to see that vision. So to see the play materializing. So, I think that there are components of that game in Nat, in Skylar, in Lena, in Stacy. There's a ton of players that I believe who can play there. It's just a matter of what's the right combination, and yeah, we're still working through it, but winning hockey games while working through it, I think that we're in a good spot.
Let's talk about Laura Stacy. She was in the second line today. She had a good game, a
Yep.
lot of shots. She's one of the most, she had 57, I think, top of the league for shooting. Do you think that Goalie anticipating more Stacy? Do you think that she needs to adjust her kind of shot, selection shot? And what can you do as a coach to help her to maybe coming back and
Find their groove.
yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we talk with our players every single day about their game. We work with them through video, through practice on the ice. I think those conversations with Stace, I mean, you're never going to be able to tell her that she doesn't work hard enough. Like, she's one of the hardest workers on the ice. And at times it's just about probably doing a little less. Good stick details, finishing at the battle, and making contact with the body is a good place to start. And that's a conversation, that her and I had. And, I think that she wants to contribute. She wants to put the puck in the back of the net. But unfortunately, there's nothing that I can say or you can say or anyone can say that's going to make her score more. With just some words. It has to be, finding solutions with her, and that's what we've been doing. And I agree with you. I really liked her game today, and she had opportunities to score, and she was making good decisions with the puck and maybe not cutting back into too much traffic too, which puts her in a vulnerable state. So, it's a work in progress too, with all of our players, really. Yeah.
I know we talked a lot often about the first line, but it really felt like this game all lines were producing, Skimura, Murphy. So how do you look at that as a coach and look at the next few games of the season and finally maybe getting that depth we've talked about so much?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I felt very confident being able to put out different line combinations tonight all the way, through. Obviously, in the last bit of the game there, you might go to a different few combinations just to finish out the game. But everybody gave us good flashes in what they can bring. So as a coach, it feels great to be able to say anybody can go out there at any moment, and we know that, we have the depth to shut down an offensive Ottawa team when they're putting the pressure on in the last 10 minutes of the third.
You've mentioned a few times this season that it feels like playoff games. Is it kind of fitting that Maureen is scoring in these games, given how she has that history of stepping up in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, I like that it's in regular season now. But yeah, every game feels like a playoff game. Like, after the game, I asked the team, like, what do they think? How do they feel? What are they really proud of? And that just 3 points. 3 points. That's all they care about in terms of how important it is to get 3 points in regulation, and how hard it is. I feel like it's a playoff game, and we're very grateful that we got the 3 points and we worked hard enough to get them. So.
In the same breath, you almost had a ninth straight game, 1-goal game. What Happy scored made it a 2-goal game. We had 8 straight games where the difference was 1 goal. How tough are those behind the bench?
Yeah, I mean, you have to get really good at the special situations, which is something that we as a coaching staff wanted to really focus on this year, is the 6-on-5 and 5v6. And, I'd have to go look at what our record is with that. But in the moment, it's not that stressful. Like, you just have to kind of manage what is happening in the moment and be ready when the timeouts come. And, I think some of the decisions that you're trying to make in the third are like, do you use the final TV timeout to talk about your 5v6, or do you let the other team kind of call their timeout and then you take that time? So fortunately, or unfortunately for us, we've been in those situations quite a bit. So our players have had, quite a bit of experience, and we learned from last game as well against Minnesota. Just a little bit of structure piece, 5v6, and I thought that the girls handled it well this game. Merci.
Hi.
What was the feeling after your second goal to hear the crowd, 10,000 people chanting your name?
Yeah, I mean, it's really special, but I think most of the time I've been really trying to focus on being present with my teammates. So, yeah, it was awesome. It's obviously going to feel awesome no matter what, but just trying to enjoy that with them because that doesn't happen without them. So.
Tell us about the second goal. Corey just said it was the teammates were calling you over.
No.
She called herself Ove. We're going to specify that.
No, that was just a funny joke because I obviously haven't scored in a while. And we never, ever run that play on that side. And before we went out there, one of our coaches was like, yep, we're going to run it on this side. And I was like, okay, well, it's hard if there's a lefty. And she was like, oh, no, Aaron Ambrose is going. So that obviously changes our dynamic a little bit. But I feel comfortable whether it's her, Maggie, Goss, just being out there with any of them. They're all great players. So, yeah, I think we knew we didn't have a ton of time left on the power play, and we've been successful when we just get pucks to the net. So just trying to keep that mantra in mind. And I was fortunate Aaron made a great pass, and I think Phillips overcommitted maybe just a little bit, but it was right in my sweet spot. So if I didn't hit that, that's on me.
Maureen, I just wanted to ask you about what it's been like getting to play again with Skylar Irving. Before the puck drops on before the third period, you both notice yourselves on the jumbotron and start hitting each other in the head. Playfully, of course, but just like you talked about being present and making the most about playing with your teammates, getting to reunite with her this season. Just what has that been? What do moments like that mean for you?
Yeah, I think she's a great person. She keeps me light, and she's always everyone's biggest supporter. She's clapping for everyone, kind of waiting till it's her turn, and I really admire that about her. She's a spark plug. I think Corey might have called her that a few times, but I know she's giving 110%, and she just wants everyone's best. But yeah, it's fun to be able to goof around with her. I think I don't want to speak for everyone, but I play my best hockey when I'm having fun, and I think Sky does too. So if we can kind of build off that together, then I'm happy to have her here.
In the last few weeks, last week, Corey said that she can't ask more from you, that you do everything but scoring. Personally, were you satisfied with how your season was going before those last 3 goals? And do you think it was just like a matter of confidence? Because we know how big confidence is in professional sports. Do you think it was just like that, believing you're able to score when you shoot? I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I think our team has had a lot of chances, and it's no surprise that our games have been really low scoring and has saved our butts a few times. So I think it was just a matter of time and trying to keep the faith. I'd be more concerned if I wasn't getting those opportunities, and all the goalies in this league are fantastic. So you're not often going to get a cheesy one on them. So that's a testament to the league, I think, and all the players. So yeah, obviously it's frustrating, but as the league continues to grow, so too does the competition. So it's just a matter of time sometimes, and just keeping the faith, putting pucks on net.
And you seem to have a good chemistry with Ailey. What do you like about playing with her?
Yeah, Scams and I are both from Buffalo, so go Bills. But yeah, I mean, she's a great player. Her and Dara both work extremely hard. They're coachable. They want to communicate, but most importantly, they're great people. So it's not hard to play with great people that want the best for you and for the team.
How do you keep your focus up to this point of the season where now you have 3 goals in 2 games? How, like, up till that point, how do you just manage that, just keeping track on your goals and all of that?
I think it's setting things that are controllable. You know, winning your battles, not necessarily shots, because sometimes those are kind of random, but bringing your best. You know, I think just setting little goals every day, whether it's connecting with a teammate, winning the blue lines, being physical, like those are all things you have control over, whereas sometimes you don't have control over whether or not the puck goes in the net.
André, t'as 24 tirs, je pense, mais comment tu décris le genre de tir que tu as reçu, le genre de match que tu as eu devant toi aujourd'hui?
Oui, on sait qu'Ottawa, c'est une équipe qui est très rapide et puis qui a beaucoup d'opportunités sur le rush, sur des revirements, des petites choses comme ça. Donc, on s'attendait, c'est le genre de hockey qui joue. Donc, ils n'ont pas beaucoup, justement, de présence en zone offensive soutenue. C'est vraiment plus des one-off. Et puis, c'est vraiment d'essayer de faire cet arrêt-là, dans ce moment-là, puis donner une chance à mon équipe de retourner dans l'autre zone et puis de passer du temps. Donc, c'est un petit peu leur style de jeu, c'est un petit peu unique. Je ne mentirai pas, il n'y a pas d'autres équipes dans la ligue qui jouent de cette façon-là. Et puis, c'est vraiment de passer plus de temps dans leur zone à eux, de les garder là, qui sont fatigués. Fait que quand ils viennent, ils veulent juste aller changer.
Puis au fil des dernières semaines, si on regardait ça en haut sur Galerie de presse, vous aviez joué 8 matchs de suite qui se sont terminés par un but, d'un côté ou de l'autre. Puis on va en avoir un 9e aujourd'hui. Pour une gardienne de but, je posais la question à Corey pour une entraîneuse. Pour une gardienne, ça exige quoi, ça? Ce genre de match-là à répétition?
Je ne sais pas si ça l'exige plus. Je trouve que ça nous donne juste une opportunité de travailler sur notre 5 contre 6 puis 6 contre 5 à chaque partie. Je veux dire, en tant que partisan, ça rend toutes les parties intéressantes. Des fois, des prolongations, des choses comme ça, des beaux jeux en fin de match. En tant que gardien, c'est certain que des fois, tu aimerais ça avoir une avance un petit peu plus coussinée, mais c'est pas quelque chose qu'on a souvent dans cette ligue-là. C'est une bonne chose. Fait que c'est juste rester dans le moment de faire les prochains arrêts puis espérer que ça soit assez.
And it seemed like their strategy was to be in your face a lot, in your crease, a little bit of contact throughout the game. In games like that, do you like that? Do you enjoy having that physicality as a goalie? I mean, we talk about it a lot as skaters, but do you like? Does it bring out some competitiveness in you when you get that?
I don't know. Today I was pretty zen out there. I'm not sure what happened to me, but I was really peaceful back there, and then I didn't let it bother me at all. But I don't know. It's just part of the game, and I guess you're doing a great job if they feel that's the way they have to score against you, if they have to keep going that front and try to bump into you and try to be there. And I sometimes just laugh. I'm like, okay, sure, you can be there as much as you like, but it doesn't really mind. So I guess it's just part of their game. They're a gritty team. They work hard, and they try to be physical here and there. But no, some days I'm a little less zen than I was today, but today was a zen day for me.
On va parler de ta zénitude en français.
Ouais.
Tu donnes quand même toujours une chance à ton équipe de gagner un gros arrêt en fin de première période, un autre gros arrêt en début de deuxième aussi. Puis un peu comme mon collègue mentionnait, ça demeure aujourd'hui que tu as été renversé, bousculé à quelques reprises, même si tu dis que tu demeures zen. Est-ce que tu as l'impression aujourd'hui que c'était une partie un peu plus physique pour toi?
Non, je dirais pas que c'est une partie un petit peu plus physique pour moi. Il y a beaucoup d'équipes qui essaient ça. Je sais contre New York aussi, il y avait souvent d'autres joueurs devant moi qui essayaient de me déranger, des choses comme ça. Je pense que c'est une stratégie qui fonctionne contre n'importe quelle gardienne de but dans la Ligue. Donc, chaque équipe devrait en prendre davantage. C'est difficile quand justement tu dois te battre pour essayer de voir la rondelle au travers des écrans, quand il y a des déviations, des choses comme ça. Donc, c'est pas un secret. Donc, c'est normal que les équipes le font. Je dirais pas que c'était plus que d'habitude. C'est quelque chose qui a été très similaire et puis constant au niveau de la saison. Et puis, c'est ça. C'est juste de rester calme, d'essayer de trouver la rondelle au travers de ça et puis pas de se laisser frustrer avec tout ça.
Maureen, Corey has said a lot of times that it feels like playoff games on the ice all season. You've been someone who's thrived in those situations the last 2 years. What is it about the kind of tightness of these games that kind of brings out the best in you?
I mean, I would much rather prefer to win like 4-0. But I think it makes it a lot easier for me to focus on just doing what's best for the team. I think sometimes, you know, especially if you're not scoring and you're winning or losing or whatever, it's easy to kind of get sidetracked by yourself, which is not a recipe for success, and it doesn't make me feel like a good person. So I think, you know, I've just been trying to do what's best for the team, and sometimes you get rewarded, sometimes you don't. But I think it's great practice for when we get there, and write the script a little differently this time.
Moi, j'aimerais ça, peut-être une dernière question. Anne-Renée, par rapport à Maureen, justement, elle ne comprendra pas, fait que c'est parfait, mais peux-tu me parler un peu de ce que ça fait? Parce que j'ai vu quand elle a compté ses deux buts, le deuxième surtout, tu sais, son shot, justement, tu disais qu'elle-même, elle s'appelle Ovi, mais tout le monde semblait sur le banc, c'était comme tout le monde souriait. Même toi, tu étais allé la voir à la fin de la période, tu sais, c'était quoi le sentiment de voir cette fille-là, particulièrement avoir ces buts-là, puis de se faire récompenser après quand même une longue période sans but, là, tu sais?
En tant que coéquipière, on a toujours un peu l'opportunité de voir tout le travail que les joueurs font derrière la scène, que ce soit en pratique, que ce soit en tant que coéquipière, que ce soit dans le vestiaire, ces choses-là. Donc, je ne mentirais pas que Maureen, c'est une excellente coéquipière, quelqu'un qui met toujours l'équipe en premier, qui travaille fort, qui veut toujours en faire plus dans les pratiques, dans les parties. Et puis, justement, de voir quelqu'un finalement récompensé pour avoir autant de chance, je veux dire, c'est le fun de voir ça, c'est le fun de savoir qu'elle a continué de pousser, qu'elle a continué de travailler, qu'elle a resté dans un bon esprit, justement, mental pour continuer de faire ça, de rester positive, c'est pas toujours facile. Donc, veux pas, c'est pas que je suis pas contente quand pousse score, là. Mais, tu sais, des fois, justement, de voir d'autres personnes récompensées aussi pour leurs efforts, pour ce qu'elles contribuent à l'équipe, et puis de se faire reconnaître de cette façon-là, ça fait chaud au cœur.
Justement, c'est intéressant. Tu parles, ça amène la profondeur aussi, c'est ce qu'on veut dans l'équipe. Fait que c'est intéressant. Comment tu perçois ça, le fait justement aujourd'hui que les trios ont été changés, même du point de vue d'une gardienne?
Oui, c'est toujours le fun d'avoir. Chaque joueuse contribue à sa façon. Je pense que quand on prend le temps de regarder qu'est-ce que toutes les joueuses font, il y a beaucoup de choses qui n'apparaissent pas sur une feuille de pointage. Aujourd'hui, Jade a réussi à avoir quelques pénalités contre elle de la part de la Charge, qu'on a réussi à avoir des avantages numériques. Il y a des joueuses qui ont bloqué des lancers. Il y a des joueuses qui ont fait des bonnes présences, qui ont changé au bon temps. Donc oui, des fois, on regarde souvent les points, les buts, les passes, ces choses-là pour voir si une joueuse performe, mais ça va beaucoup au-delà de ça. Donc, je suis contente de voir que finalement, les fans peut-être reconnaissent ces petits efforts-là. Mais d'un point de vue personnel, je sais que ces joueuses-là, ils font tellement de bonnes choses, puis nous, on les célèbre en tant que coéquipières, mais c'est le fun de voir les autres personnes les célébrer aussi pour ça.
Merci beaucoup.
Ouais.